Remember those times in cartoons where characters are just way too goofy for their own good? We mean those times when you really need them to focus on a task, but at that moment, they have an IQ smaller than their age. Well, remember the times that the same character loses their funny bone and suddenly becomes the most serious character in the whole show. We at Not Fair Studios have been fascinated by just how many times this exact thing has happened. So we came up with a list of times when the funny cartoon character suddenly got super duper serious. And trust us, each one of these moments are so mind-blowingly unexpected that we can bet all of them were an absolute shocker. Starting off with Patrick Star, a character who isn't just known for being funny. No, Patrick's biggest strength and weakness is being impressively stupid. Patrick is the kind of person that can catastrophically mess up an incredibly simple task and will still walk away feeling like he nailed it. So, can you really imagine a moment where Patrick gets serious? Well, I mean, we couldn't either, but there's been theories online that Patrick really isn't as dumb as he makes himself out to be. We're not theorists on this channel, well, except maybe when Horrid Henry's involved, but anyways, just because we don't cover them doesn't mean that we don't know when they happen. Like in the episode Big Pink Loser. Just from the name alone, you can pretty much tell just who we're going to be focusing on. It starts simply enough. A male fish shoves a package into Patrick's mouth while he's yawning, as one does. And inside is a shiny gold trophy. Patrick has never had a trophy before. To be honest, he's never had anything before.
An award? I never got an award before.
So, naturally, he loses his mind about it. He shows it to a group of jellyfish who just naturally electrocute him to the high heaven. Then, to the island above the sea, it doesn't matter that being out of water suffocates him briefly because he's got a trophy and the world needs to know.
Jellyfish, I got an award. Island, I got an award.
Then SpongeBob reads the inscription for outstanding achievement in achievement, SpongeBob SquarePants. It's SpongeBob's. Patrick just got it by mistake. Of course, our beloved Star with a sea barnacle for a brain doesn't process that part. All he sees is that he finally got something, and he's bloody ecstatic about it. Should be a simple mistake, right? Patrick apologizes to his buddy for the mix-up, and then they go. We don't know, blowing bubbles or whatever a Star and a sponge do under the sea. But then he catches a glimpse of SpongeBob's award closet, an entire wardrobe of trophies and awards from the years. It's so overwhelmingly vast that just opening a door with the stuff floods SpongeBob's living room. Here he was, celebrating an award that wasn't his. An award that actually belongs to his best friend, who already has so many awards, he probably won't even notice this one.
You must have got it by mistake.
But it's shiny.
Yeah, but you know what else is shiny?
Ice cream. I can find it. Is it in here?
No, don't! That's mine!
I think this is the first time that Patrick has really been forced to confront the gap between him and SpongeBob. They've been best friends for so long, it's hard to remember that the person you spend most of your days goofing off with has actually accomplished so much more than you. So what does he do when he learns of that gap? He tries to close it. Not long after, he gets a job at the Krusty Krab, and that goes about as well as you'd expect. He eats a customer's order, answers the phone by telling everyone he's not the Krusty Krab, and causes a dust storm with a broom. You know, the usual dead-end job shenanigans. And yet, despite all of that, he keeps going. Sure, he just keeps failing, but whenever he fails, he just tries something different until he finally settles on the mind-boggling idea of just becoming SpongeBob entirely. He copies the walk, the clothes, the routine, the voice. It'd be kind of creepy if we didn't know just why he was doing it.
I'm ready! I'm ready!
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
And then because we can't have these two in the same room without shit getting properly out of control, SpongeBob eventually dresses up as Patrick to make a point. And Patrick has no bloody idea how to take this. SpongeBob is trying to prove that there's nothing fun about being a pink loser. And instead of laughing it off like he usually would or doing something Patrick-shaped with it, Patrick just kind of sits there and agrees. Because he is the pink loser. He knows who he is and he hates it. That's why he wants an award. He wants something to finally show him a reason why he matters. It's kind of a somber moment because the dumbest character in the show just delivered the most self-aware line in the episode. He's not dumb enough to think that just becoming SpongeBob is enough. Okay, maybe he is, but At least he understands that all of that effort has produced nothing. Maybe this might actually be a moment of growth for the star to finally realize that he should do something greater with himself. And then a trophy shows us for doing absolutely nothing longer than anyone else. And Patrick puts it on his head and then immediately goes back under his rock and falls asleep to protect his title. The show resets in about 30 seconds. But we all saw the moment Patrick looked inward and tried to become a better person. It's almost inspiring in a way how desperate he was to be somebody. But it's not always an effort to prove something that makes someone switch up. Nah, sometimes it's for something even bigger than that, to save your damn brother. The Amazing World of Gumball episode, The Origins, is still one of our favourite Gumball episodes to date. In the whole show, we know Gumball as the kind of character who treats everything like one big punchline. It doesn't matter how bad the situation gets, he'll find a way to make it a comedy show. It's one of those things you love to hate about the guy. The only things that can make him actually take something genuinely serious are his family, his friends, and his goddamn pet fish turned brother. We see this especially in The Origins, which is a flashback to when Darwin first joined the Watterson family. Richard and Nicole have been buying goldfish for toddler Gumball to calm him down, and every single one of them has been dying, almost immediately. Usually because Richard is involved, other times because Gumball was an actual supernova as a child. Then one day, after an encounter with a mysterious guy in a van, they find Darwin. It's the perfect match, and nothing could ever go wrong. And then Darwin gets flushed down the bloody toilet.
But more importantly, the Wattersons have adopted a magical fish called Darwin, who they love very much, but accidentally flushed down the toilet.
Now, as a kid, if I flushed my magical talking fish down the toilet, I'd throw a tantrum so heavy the neighborhood wouldn't sleep for a month. But the actual living ball of nuclear energy that is Gumball doesn't. He knows Darwin is still out there, and he's got no plans of just sitting idly by and crying while his brother is struggling to get back to him. He sits down with his parents and starts planning how they're going to find their goldfish, because Darwin was going to come back, and Gumball would have enough optimism for both of them, even if it killed him.
Make you feel better, but I don't think Darwin is ever coming back.
No, I'm not gonna give up. Darwin wouldn't give up, and if he did, I'd be there for him, and I'd kick him in the butt.
There aren't a lot of times that we see Gumball actually take something seriously, much less be so uncharacteristically optimistic. Usually, the blue cat is the first to call it quits and head back home to watch some TV. And yet, even now, as a freaking toddler, he's making sure that his parents understand that he will find his brother. But there's only so much a kid can do to find something that's been flushed out to sea. And Gumball, having run out of things to do, starts to give up. He slowly stops searching and eventually agrees to go with his family to the mall to get a new fish. He's about to let them replace Darwin entirely. It's painful to watch the little kid who's been laser focused this entire episode just run out of fight.
Please! It's so good. We'll never find him anyway. Never find him anyway.
The moment is so painful that even Darwin feels it from somewhere else in Elmore. But now it's Darwin's turn to give up. He started breathing air, crawled through the desert, grew legs, and took a fair few beatings to get back home. And he's not gonna let a fraud on non-magical fish move into his new family. Darwin finally makes it back to Gumball. And when the blue cat sees his brother, he drops everything and runs.
Gumball!
Watching the kid go from absolutely hopeless to the happiest little feline you've ever seen in fiction is a sight to behold. The whole episode was played for laughs, but if you've ever had something terrible happen to a loved one of yours and you'd lost hope on helping them, then you'd know exactly how Gumball felt in that moment. Speaking of blue animals in fiction, Gumball's not the only one that turns every serious situation into a bit. Mordecai's one of those characters that's kind of a middle ground when you think about him. He's not stupid, unaware, or even particularly chaotic. He's just a painfully normal guy in a show that can turn the most regular things into the most spectacular spectacular and unimaginable moments that you can't even begin to think of, even if you try. Usually though, it's a joint effort of negligence or stupidity, and rarely is it just one of them on their own. So in It's Time, where everything's caused by something so fundamentally stupid, well, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's start at the beginning, when Mordecai turns down an invite from Rigby to go watch a horror movie premiere. The Blue Jay wanted to take Margaret to see a romantic movie instead, because he's just corny and cliche like that. Rigby's naturally pissed off because not only does he hate the fact that his bro is ditching him for a girl, he doubts that Mordecai would even man up enough to do it anyways. So he proves a point by walking straight up to Margaret and asking her out. Not because he likes her, just purely to be a dick. Surprise, surprise, she says yes, because Rigby has the confidence to make it work. And confidence around girls is the one thing that Mordecai is definitely lacking in his life.
Hey guys, ready to call it a day?
Margaret, just wanted to ask you if you want to, I mean, obviously you don't have to, but,
Margaret, want to see something cool? Bam! 2 tickets to the zombie dinner party premiere. Want to go with me tonight?
So, Mordecai spends the rest of the episode trying to hide how much this bothers him, while on the inside, he secretly blames Rigby for ruining his chances and essentially stealing his crush. As time goes on, Mordecai's fake apathy can't hold on much longer, and he tries to sabotage Rigby's date by making him late. How does he do this, you ask? Well, by stuffing all of the clocks in the house in a microwave and melting them during a fight about it, and in classic regular show fashion, the most stupid action ends up sending them to a completely different dimension.
Give me back those clocks!
no!
During their travel through space and time, after Rigby has spent hours taunting Mordecai about the date, the two have a heart-to-heart where Rigby finally reveals the only reason he's doing all of this is because he wants to hang out with his bro. He's pissed off at being thrown aside for a girl and just wanted to prove a point. Mordecai's response? He snaps and shoves Rigby off the microwave, pushing him into the void where he disintegrates into atoms. Yeah, Mordecai killed Rigby. Totally by accident, sure, but he killed him. And the second it happens, Mordecai's face goes from rage to pure terror. He just murdered his best friend.
No, I didn't! I just wanted to see zombie dinner party with my bro, who flaked on me for some girl who doesn't even know he exists!
I'll kill you!
Afterwards, Mordecai meets Father Time, who tells him the only way to fix it is to go back and undo everything, and admit out loud that he was jealous. The people don't matter right now. Mordecai just has to accept his feelings once and for all here. And Mordecai, who's been denying it for the entire episode, who called it fine and not a big deal with Rigby's fault, finally says it. He was jealous. He cared about Margaret, and he cared far more about their date than he'd been willing to say to anyone, including himself. And it cost him in this episode. Literally everything. Time resets, Rigby comes back, and the episode ends with things not much different from where they started. Except Mordecai now knows what the problem is. Don't get us wrong though, he does all to fix it. He's still Mordecai after all, and fixing complicated things involving his love life is literally impossible for him. But he at least stops lying about it.
It's true. I am jealous of Rigby. And even though he's annoying, he's still my best friend. You're right, Father Time. I deserve to be trapped here.
And hey, Rigby finally gets to go see a movie with his bro. Well, if killing your literal best friend, losing your loved ones to the sea, and trying to figure out your purpose in life weren't serious enough for you, then we've got more to really set you off. Off we go to the land of Ooh, where we meet Finn the human from Adventure Time. Anytime we see Finn and his brother Jake, things are always moving fast. He's either fighting something, ramming headfirst into his problems, sometimes very literally, or handling the issues of being the only human in the world full pace. When it comes to sitting with feelings and raising a family, it's not usually in his toolkit. Sure, Finn is undoubtedly the most emotionally intelligent character on this whole bloody list, but his solution to most of life's problems is punch it in the face and then do a backflip. Well, that and dancing, which he's always been good at.
Baby, they can dance like a man. I can shake 'em my fanny, I can shake 'em I can. I'm a tough punch of your buns. I can punch all your buns. If you're an evil witch, I will punch you for fun.
But then in the episode Pahoy, Finn meets a pair of faces that he could never bring himself to punch. It starts with Finn trying to tell Flame Princess a joke, which she doesn't really get. He hangs up confused, the way you do when you're 14 and you've sent a text and the response is lol, and you spent the next 6 hours trying to work out if your crush hates you or not. Long story short, Finn retreats into the pillow fort that Jake built to have some alone time. According to him, he just needs to let his mind fester a little bit. While navigating it, he falls through a small red door and he ends up in the pillow world.
What's this now? What the? Jake, what's in here? Oh, whoa. Did Jake build this part too?
Everything there is made of pillows. The people, the animals, the sky. While exploring the new world, Finn stumbles on a village that's being attacked by a blanket dragon. He kills it in about 4 seconds because, well, of course he does, and they throw him a party. At the party, he meets Rose Linen, the mayor's daughter, and there's immediate chemistry. He's careful about it because he has a girlfriend, but she convinces him into it. After all, it's just a dance and not a marriage, right?
You want to dance?
Oh, well, I have a girlfriend.
Dummy, it's a dance, not marriage.
Yeah, okay.
And then the episode skips forward. Finn and Rose Linen are married. They have 2 children named Jay and Bonnie, named after Jake and the Princess Bubblegum. Moral of the story, yes, a dance can lead to a marriage. Stay safe out there. Anyways, Finn is an adult now. And fun nerd fact here, Jonathan Frakes, also known as Commander Riker from Star Trek, voices him, which is the single most unexpected casting decision in the show's entire run, and somehow works perfect.
Alphanumeric.
Oh, what is this?
A pack of fearsome pillow goblins?
Now he's a completely different character. No longer the heroic teenage boy with girls on his mind. Now he's a married man with kids to take care of and a village to protect. He has people who needed him in a different way than his previous adventures demanded from him. But he still wants to get back home. After all, he left a lot worse behind in his old life. He finds out about a door that periodically opens back to his real world and goes back to an oracle to ask about it. The oracle speaks in riddles and farts him out of the hut, and Finn, faced with an actual chance to go home, considers not taking it. A hallucination of Jake talks him back into it, so he decides to go, but by the time the door appears, Finn is an old man. He's lived his entire life. He and Rose Linen have a grandson. He dies surrounded by his family in the pillow world. His spirit flies naked through a dark void, hits Golb, the literal god of their world, who brings about nothing but destruction, and manages to escape getting eaten. Yeah, remember when I said Finn literally backflips away from his problems? We haven't seen a single person talk about the fact that Finn literally backflips away from death. Anyways, he pops out of the pillow fort like a wet fart and returns to his teenage body. He starts to tell Jake all about it, but gets interrupted as Flame Princess calls to say she finally got the joke. Then he hangs up and realizes that he can't remember a single thing about the pillow world. Not Rose Linen, not his children, not any of it.
Now what about this dream?
What dream?
The dream you were just talking about?
Huh?
The dream you just had in the pillow fort?
And the episode just ends. Like, yeah, Finn, let's forget about the fact that your wife literally begged you before you died to remember your family before you croaked. And Adventure Time really is one of those shows that begs you not to sweat all the small stuff. Just take things as they come and don't think too heavily about it. The whole show moves fast and you've just got to accept it. But if you know anything about us at Not Fair Studios, you know that's the exact opposite of our philosophy. So we're going to head out and overthink even more crazy shit from even more cartoons out of raw spite. Subscribe if you don't want to miss that, and we'll be back very soon. Cheerio!